Hello, everybody. It's good to be with you, and welcome to our Weighted to Win weekend show. We're doing our Hollywood Bets Kenilworth race meeting in the Western Cape, and it's good to be with Daryl Marie and Darren Burrows again as we look at the weekend's action. We'll start with an 8-race program. First, I was going to remind you about our social media option, where we are on Twitter at Weighted to Win is where you go in terms of the handle. We've also got a WhatsApp number for you on screen at the moment, 0691643272. Just send your name and email address and be part of. We're giving away Weighted to Win cups and mugs and all that sort of stuff. And it's all festive now, so it's good to be with you during this time. Right, let's get to it. We'll start up with the first race. Let's go to Darren Burrows, who's in the Cape, and he'll give us an idea what the weather is like Cape Town-wise. How's it going, Darren?
Yes, good. The weather is lovely in the Cape. Not a breath of wind today. The sun's out, everything good for racing. And then starting in race 1, I thought horses like Nevada King, big runner, dropping in trip, close up second in his last 2 starts. The dogs are barking here, Clyde.
Yeah, I see that. That's not a problem. Let the dogs keep barking, because when they bark, it's a good sign, Darren. So maybe Nevada King's the right one. What else do you like?
Let me go on to Royal Port Louis. He's the main threat. He ran against winners in his last 2 starts. So I see the race between numbers 2 and 6, and that should get us through the bipot.
Okay, we'll start bipots 2 and 6. Your side, Daryl? How are the dogs at home?
Yeah, the dogs are certainly barking. Clyde, not with regards to this race. I think we're just happy to get through the bipot.
Is it a tough race?
No. We're going to double up.
Okay.
I've also put 2 and 6. Obviously, Royal Port Louis is back against Maiden Company. He wouldn't have taken his place today if he didn't travel well to Gqeberha and back. So I'm confident he'll bounce back to his best. And then Nevada King, that combination can't do anything wrong at the moment. Justin Snaith and Richard Free.
Okay, let's get slides up, guys. Get straight into race 1. This is what we want to do. Daryl's bipot. Darryl, you've got a few bankers today.
Yes, Clyde. I'm bankering number 3 in the second leg, Chanzane. I'm bankering number 2 in the third leg. That's my best bet, Allende. And then the 8 is Ready or Not. That perm is a 12 Rand.
All right, you guys can use that and take that a few times. It depends on what you want to spend. And Darren, let's go through yours.
So mine's 2 and 6. I've also bankered Chancenay. That's my only banker and the best bet on the card. By 2, 3, 10, 8, 10, 8, 11, 13, 16, 5, 6, 9, 11, and 6, 8, and 15. 288 Rand perm.
Second race is a 1,600 metre called the Summer Bowl, and we have a look at what the plan is here with regards to the race. Some very nice horses in the race. In terms of quality, the likes of Marina and Chanzane, for example. Chanzane, Darren's 14 to 10 on this Friday, and number 1 Marina 17 to 10. Market tending to indicate it's a match race. Is that the case?
Yes, it is the case. I know they're both carrying 62 kilos, but Chanzane, now her comeback run after a lengthy layoff, she moved up like she was going to win by 2-3 lengths. And then just didn't find extra the final 200, which is understandable after a long layoff. I think she's going to win. Reason why? Because Marina, after a bit of a break, she's had a few comeback runs after a break, running fresh, and she hasn't delivered. So I'm leaning towards Chancenay.
And Daryl, a horse like Silver Darling can't upset, or not?
Listen, she's certainly got ability. If the top 2 run below par, I wouldn't be surprised to see her win. I'm not too sure why Chanzane is at her current odds, Clyde. I don't know if they're willing to take on the Andre Nel stable. They really have been quiet of recent times. But she's slunging at the moment. Well, she is slunging. I think she's 3 kilograms best in. Second best in is Marina, who's a 1,800, 2,000 meter filly or mare. So Chanzane, on a run to Captain's Ransom, is a penalty kick, in my opinion. So I thought she'd actually be in the red.
Okay.
But yes, I'm happy to bank her in the PA.
You might be right. Perhaps they're a bit nervous about the stable. Let's have a look at what the plans are. You heard Daryl is bankering in PAs, and it's an affordable PA you got up there.
Yes.
time was a special weights race, and she gave horses like Gift from Heaven 10 kilos, and now they're level weights. She was making steady progress through runners from a long way back. Gift from Heaven, I thought she went too fast up front. I'm surprised she stayed on to second. With a more patient ride with Pierce Stradum, I think even with the weight turnaround, I wouldn't ignore Gift from Heaven's chances. She is a half-sister to a Wyman Rainbow Bridge, so she's got the pedigree. And then Sunlit from Heaven included into wider perms.
Okay, yeah, she is beautifully bred. Gift from Heaven, and maybe this is Pierce Stradum's opportunity, if not already done so by now, for 5,500 winners. On the other hand, Daryl is very big on the favourite, Alendi. Let's have a look at what we're doing then. So here's Darren's pick 6. Obviously, it's a percentage and worth taking those numbers down. Have a look at it. If you're interested, perhaps Alendi, for those that are on want to follow Daryl's side, he's very big on it. But Darren is making reference to both Gift from Heaven and naturally the 10 horse Sunlit from Heaven that may have to go in as well. Maiden Class Field special weights over 2,000 metres. Now let's get on to race number 4, first leg of the pot. We're doing this Friday, just so that you know, and the market's got this horse top of the boards, Mahandis, for the Crawford Yard at 4-1. Joint, though, with the Nell Stable, Salukwe at 4-1. Then Ready or Not number 8 is trading at 9-2, and then 10's and better the other. So tough race, Darren.
A tough race, Clyde. I have got a first choice, Ready or Not. Maybe I'm going on reputation because they do rate him. He has been disappointing, but I think he's stepping up to the right trip now. So definitely one for the shortlist. You've got to include the Crawford runner, Mohandis. He was staying on really well last time out over a mile, also suggesting the 2000 is going to be better. And then Salukwe and Storm Boulevard also have chances.
All right, so there are a handful in here for you, Daryl.
No, I'm big on Ready or Not, Clyde. Taking my chances. I banked him. I liked his comeback efforts. He was staying on over a mile. He's damn one. Excuse me, Clyde. He's damn one over 2,000.
Yeah.
All his siblings stayed. So I think he's going to love the step up and trip. He's going to love the long running. Going to give him time to get there. And have a look. Keegan DeMello sticks with him over Spirit of Salvano, who represents that William the First form line. There's a few that take part with, from that form line. He had the choice. He's gone with Ready or Not. I'm backing him. So bank number 8, Ready or Not. For the viewers who aren't willing to banker him like I am, look at number 2, Impetuous. I think he's got improvement to come. Has been disappointing, but from a 2 draw with 54.5 to shoulder, if he gets handy, could certainly pose a threat over here.
Yeah, he's likely racing. He's likely to improve on a horse like Spirit of Silvana. But Ready or Not, that's the question. Let's have a look at what we're doing in terms of the slides. We're going Daryl, who's taking his chances by bankering Ready or Not, yeah? Then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then 6 and 8. And he'll be bankering number 1 later on in his chat pot as well. So that works out to, well, it's just a 12 rand pot. But that last jackpot banker hit them hard, Sunshine. Come back, guys. Let's get on now where they bet 4-1 the field race 5, and Fleeting is top of the boards, number 6 at 4-1. This being recorded Friday, please don't forget that. So look out for scratchings and all that sort of stuff. 7 Academic Gold is 5-1, and number 8 Young Love is trading at 11-2. 9 Time Flyers is 6-1. So the Nell Crawford Yard are dominating this particular race. And then you got Glenn Cotson, got that also Flower of Saigon who's in the market at around 8-1. What do you like, Darren?
I thought Time Flies, she's on the up. She's a lightly raced 4-year-old, comes into the race with 52 kilos, and it was a good last win when stepped up in trip. So I'm going to be leaning towards Time Flies. I would include Poitre Ma. She's better off at the weights with Fleeting. She's very capable. And then touching on Fleeting, I thought won a good race last time out, but she was well in. And then the KZN Raider Evening Primrose. I think she's got a touch of class about her, and I wouldn't ignore her chances.
All right, so you've touched on a few, Daryl?
3 for me, Clyde. Numbers 4, 5, and 9. My top pick, probably number 5, Poitre Ma. Big, solid daughter of Mastermind Fate with 52.5 to shoulder. With a long running, Clyde, I think that's going to suit her. If she gets handy, she'll be the one to beat. Number 4, She's a Rainbow. That was a sprint up last time out. Her best races have been when she's been leading and dictating. And that hasn't been the case in her last few runs. So if she goes forward, I think she will improve on her recent form. Time Flies, an improving 4-year-old, got more to offer. Fleeting was sweating up terribly last time out. See how she goes down to the start. Watch her parading behind the pens. I think number 5 represents a value.
Okay. Interesting form with Time Flies. Double check came out of there in one, so that does boost the confidence a little bit. Okay, so we've heard it from both of the guys. This is the plan now because it is an opportunity to get a second jackpot on. And Darren's going those numbers on the screen and he's spending 360 Rand. Welcome back. Let's move on, guys, and get on to our next race on the card, give you an idea as to what the market's doing in this particular event. And Cousin Casey is 5-2. We did hear Glenn Cotson talking about Cousin Casey in an interview the other day, and I would imagine Cousin Casey's spot on. His light speed is 4-1, and this horse At My Command, number 15, is trading at 5s, and then there's as much as 10-1 and better the others. How are you big on Cousin Casey here? What's happening, Darren?
I'm not big on him, Clyde, because it is his comeback run. He's got to give the 2 kilos away. I would like to see how he comes on from this run. He was super impressive in KZN. You know, he won with a ton in hand last time out over the mile. I thought Light Speed a really smart horse, and Justin Snake does rate him highly. He beat older horses last time out, beating Baratheon, who's come out to win a feature since then. I'm going to go 6 from 8. Only because Cousin Casey's having his comeback run. And then At My Command, I've also included into my play.
Yeah, At My Command represents, of course, the Charles Dickens and even a horse like Dave the King. Do we give up on Dave the King now, or what do we do?
Yeah, I'd like to see him back up the straight.
Is it?
Yeah. Clyde,
Okay.
this horse is a machine, Cousin Casey.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he made top-class horses look very average in his later starts. I think he's a bomb. I saw his gallop. Very, very impressive. He really turns it on extremely well. So he's going to have to go and fetch the likes of number 6, Light Speed, who's going to push forward. He's run his best races when he's up front, and there's no reason to believe they're going to change tactics. So for me, 6 is going to have to fend off the 8. I think Cousin Casey will collar him inside that final furlong.
Okay, and this is Grant's ride. He's always been part of Cousin Casey's career, so hoping he also gets back into the winner's enclosure if he hasn't already done so by now. Right, we know where the guys stand on this race. Daryl big on Cousin Casey. Darren's got a few other ideas. What does that mean for us in terms of what we need to do? Well, we'll maybe recommend some exactas boxed, 6, 8 and 15. Welcome back, guys. Are we going to hit them hard? That's the question. Last time out, I think that was Trumpy was tuned to the minute. Hit them hard, Sunshine. Eric Sands did make it known that, you know, he's well, but likely to just need it. They did back him, though, Darren. There was a lot of support, I think, from a punter's perspective for Hit Them Hard, Sunshine. Is it hard to beat you, or is there anything else?
I know Daryl likes him strong. I've chosen to cover him. His comeback run was good. He moved up to a point, and then Chompy just outran him. And Chompy was returning after a lengthy layoff, so you got to believe he's going to improve a lot more, even though he's worse off at the weights. So Hit Them Hard, Sunshine, best weighted, done well over the 1200. First to My Command, and second to Charles Dickens. Horse like Peroshka moved up strongly last time out over 14, looked like a winner, and Seeking the One outran him. I think Peroshka's not without a chance. And then Street Outlaw. I see, interestingly, Ricky Maingard is the trainer now. So his first runner back. He's not without a chance. And then We Jamming can't be ignored on his best form.
Yeah. So there are a few. Ricky Maingard back in South Africa. He's got this horse Street Outlaw. What does that mean? Wolf Power, the days of Wolf Power. Is that Ricky Maingard?
A few years ahead of my time, Clyde. But yes,
Well,
I obviously remember them,
You made like
but not
30.
clearly.
You're pushing 50.
Who?
You, close. You're not far off. But I watched Trumpy go to the gate last time. He looked, although I know it was returning, but looked ready, looked well, looked fit. So I thought that on that.
Yeah, it's nice to see him bounce back to his best, because he did run a very disappointing second start. But he's certainly at the weights got no chance. 4 kilograms for a length and a quarter beating. I believe Hit Them Hard Sunshine's more effective over the 6 furlongs. I think he's bound to reverse that form. On ratings, he's the one to beat, Clyde. He's £7 best in, 3.5 kilograms. I'm going with the handicapper.
Okay. Are these subject to conditions and ratings, or are these the real, is this the insider trader ratings? which ratings are these? But to one way or the other, Hit Them Hard Sunshine does appear, if the experts have got it right, to be well above, above this field, and they are expecting him to win. I'm sure Shaheen Shaw and his whole team with Hollywood Bets will be hoping that this cup gets back into the winning mood, and a lot of punters will be hoping the same. And Daryl Marie is on Hit Them Hard Sunshine. And our last race today is the hardest on the card, probably a field race. Darren, help us a trifecta quartet. What's the plan?
I think we can have a bet on this, not a big bet, but Let It Burn's the horse to beat. Now, clearly he didn't stay because he tried a mile, 1800, and he disappointed. If you look at his 1400 meter form, he's at 2 wins and 2 seconds. Now, he returned after a 7-month layoff last time out, and he was really making eye-catching headway behind Sundazed. I think he's going to come on from that run, and I make him the horse to beat at a decent price. Then for trifectas include Poltergeist, Transact, Sundazed, and Masked Vigilante.
So Let It Burn for Darren. I guess he had It's Raining William right behind him, which is not a bad thing to do.
Clyde, I can't help. Let's just shout home Darren's horse of the year. I've got 6 horses in the PA. I'm hoping to survive. Just one, if he does get a run. Number 19, Pashton Wali. I don't know if he can ride 50 kilograms, but if he does come in, he was desperately unlucky in his later start, and perhaps can fill in the back end of the trifecta or quartet.
All right, one to look out for. Will the reserve runner get a run or not? Closer to race time, you'll know. But here's what we're doing in the last race, and Darren suggesting that he's straight up on Let It Burn.